Hello, hello. Can't talk to. And we're live. I'm ready. Let's go.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hamda.
Rod Morrow. Hello, Rod.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Rod, of course, does our weekly wrap-up show at keithandthegirl.com/VIP. All the dirty behind the scenes. In fact, if you're a Keith and the Girl guest, and I'd rather you didn't, but if you're not listening to what we think about you behind the scenes, right? I would,
right?
If I was on a show and there was a behind the scenes show, I'd have to see if I behaved.
I would pay for a month of the behind the scenes to see that. And we can say that because Rod is behind the scenes. You notice we normally don't do this kind of commercial for our VIP. Hey, listen to what we think about you.
Right.
But Rod, welcome to the show. If you'd like to hear what we really think about you, sign up to keithandthegirl.com/VIP. In fact, you can get it free. And just a heads up, we record on Monday. So if you want to tune in on Tuesday, KATG.com/VIP, use code free, and you can hear the gossip that we say about you anytime.
But we have on Rod's wife as a co-host. So, we're going to get the dirt.
And I do make sure to ask every single time there's a guest or a no-show, were they an asshole? So we're going to get that question, and you're going to find out about yourself if you were a guest.
That's right.
You really never skip that question. You never skip that question. Even if we're like, if we finished the episode, we were both like, wow, he came in on time. He did this, he did that. At the end, you go, but was he an asshole? And sometimes we're like, kind of.
We got one this week. We got one this week. I'll tell you about.
I'd say we're hitting about, 1 out of 10 guests. And I'm not saying they're all bad people, but there's a story. There's 1 out of 10 guests.
There's a story. And it's usually always my friends. Like caramba. Rod also has his own podcast. It's called The Black Guy Who Tips.
Thank you.
And I have to assume you have a business credit card. When it says The Black Guy Who Tips, are you like, oh, I didn't mean to give that card. Now I really gotta. Like you can't just buy coffee on that card and not hit 25%, right?
Well, lucky for me, the business card says TBGWT LLC.
Okay.
So they don't know what it stands for, but I still overtip because that's just who I am. So
okay,
they might look you up.
I appreciate that. Here's the thing about tipping for me right now. Everyone is asking for a tip because they can digitally add it. When you bloop, when you Apple Pay your phone, you bloop, and it's like, hey, do you want to add a tip? And I'm like, motherfuckers, but the register person is standing right there like, huh? And I go, well, you're fucking 16 years old. I got to give you at least $1 here. Right? I'm like, well, look at this child. He's going, okay.
And it's and now it's getting to the point where it's for transactions that have not required tips before. So it's like I'm at the furniture store, and then the person at the register is like flipping over, like, so that'll be 10% on that couch. And I'm like, well, now why would I do that?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's in 5 minutes, it will be at our supermarket. They're like, oh, $100 worth of groceries. What's it worth to you? I'm like, I will pack my own bag. I don't even like when you people do it. Right. I just don't want to interrupt your system. So go ahead. Right. I mean, I don't have bags. I do the cart thing. And they're like, you want me to just put the stuff directly in your cart? And I'm like, whatever's easier, I can do it. And they're like, no, I'll do it. And they, I know I'm down the block. When you see me putting my stuff into my cart, I throw it. If it's not eggs, I'm throwing it because I know it's not as sensitive as people think. And they're like caressing it, putting it, stacking it, Tetris style. And I'm always like, you did such a nice job. Thank you. And now I'm like, if there was a tip here, I would go. If there was a fucking tip here, I would go.
Especially if it's Trader Joe's and it's the paper bags. Because they do Tetris with that shit. I don't know how they do it, but those motherfuckers have found a way to stack your shit perfectly into a paper bag every time.
And I can't tell if it comes from the training or just their mind, because they're like, no, I am the best at everything here, because they know. Yeah.
I've had a person take my shit out the bag and start over, and I wasn't mad. Like, I knew it was going to take more time, but I was going to be more impressed that they figured out how to fit that shit into one bag.
I don't like when they insist on taking over, and I go, oh, thank you. And they go, you're welcome. And I want to kill. I want to murder. I'm not exaggerating. This just happened to me. Somebody in the street left the door open for me. a little too far away where you got to run and now it's work. And so, of course, I say, thank you. They go, you're welcome. And in my head, I'm like, really fucking die. Because somehow the you're welcome is their way of saying an extra, like they ruined the thank you.
It is so amazing how triggering the 2 words "you're welcome" are. Now, imagine if they use 3 words, you would punch. You are welcome. Like,
you are
would
so
just
welcome.
throw you over.
When they pronounce the apostrophe in your, I want to stab. You're welcome. For what? Nothing really happened. Unless you're pointing out that my thank you was fake. But you're not. You're going, and I did that for you today. And that goes in the diary for my high of the day. I hate it. I hate it. So I wouldn't even do it as a waiter. I was in the service industry for at least 15 years. Never would I say, you're welcome. I'll go, sure, of course. You're fucking kidding me. Get the fuck out of here. What else am I going to be doing? But not you're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I want to disagree with you. I'm a big no problem guy myself. I say
no problem. Yeah.
But I can't really disagree because I don't use you're welcome.
You're like a human being.
Yeah, I'm not like, I don't think I'm as triggered by it as you are, but I'm also not on the side of using it. So I can't really say you're wrong.
Samesies. It doesn't trigger me like it does you, but I don't use it specifically because it's almost like, thanks for noticing I gave you something. That's what you're welcome. Yeah. But I would like to adopt my pleasure, but I don't want to say the word pleasure at people.
When somebody thanks you for the door, say with great pleasure.
My pleasure is a good one because that's what the people at Chick-fil-A use. And that shit works. It diffuses everything. I don't know why. I don't know why, but when you're in a drive-thru or something, you're just like, yeah, let me get this, and this. And you're like, all right, well, thank you. And they're just like, my pleasure. I'm like,
you know why? It takes everything off of you because I use no problem a lot. I use no problem because I just want everybody to know whatever it is not even a thing. It's not even a thing. However, no problem is, well, was there a problem? Right? So, but my pleasure is, oh my God, I so wanted to do this. Thank you.
Right.
For coming in and ordering. Thank you.
Yeah.
The only time you could say you're welcome is if you lent somebody money and it's over $2,500 and they said thank you.
Yeah.
Then maybe. And even then I would. I can't think of a world where I would.
I think
thanks for saving my kid's life. You're welcome. Wait, what? Why
I think if
you?
it's like something where you actually didn't want to do it and you are saying it in the motherfucker way. Like if your mom's like, you're welcome for even being born. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I get it. There's labor and shit involved. That makes sense.
Right. So only if you're justified in being a little snippy about your thing.
Yeah, you got it.
Like you ruined my vagina. Yeah. You're welcome.
And I know this all comes from my dad. I have to assume, my dad saying you can change the channel. I'm like, oh, thanks. You are welcome. And I'm sure that's probably in there somewhere. I mean, we all know the story. You wake up in the morning, my dad's already up and he runs to me to go, good morning. And I'm like, oh, good morning. Like we talk like that. And then he goes, yes, but wouldn't it be nice if you said it? I'm like, I think we just did. And he goes, now go back in your room and try again. And I had to audition. I had to practice. I had to go back. This is why I thought I'd be an actor. I'm like, well, I went to training. So I have to go back in my room, come out. He's deliberately not looking at me. And I go, good morning, Father. Like I'm on Little House on the Prairie, his dream, right? Pa.
Yes.
And then he turns around and goes, oh, what a nice surprise. Good morning to you, my son. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Kill myself.
And take 2.
Right.
Start from the top.
There is not one aspect of your life that your father can't say you're welcome to you.
Yes.
Like I have a show. You're welcome, son.
Right. I have a book all about you trying to fuck my ex. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There was one time, there's a different way of using you're welcome that nobody really uses, but I would like to bring it back if possible. And it's you're actually welcomed. So somebody comes into your house and you're welcome to my stuff. You're welcome. Please feel welcomed. So you're welcome, as in you're
Sure.
welcomed in. But nobody uses that and it feels weird.
Right. You say make yourself at home because even the welcome
Yeah.
feels weird. Sleep in my bed, jerk off on the couch, whatever you do at home.
What do you think your welcome means? What just happened?
I'm just saying,
I wanna
I'd
change.
sooner say, well, actually, I say, make yourself at home except for the weird shit you do in your house.
Yeah.
But I will never say, you're welcome to my pleasures.
I think I like a long, drawn out, sarcastic 90s sitcom. You're welcome. Like
Yeah,
I like
can take
that.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Well, based on yesterday's episode where we were wondering how to spell the word come, Pizza is saying, is it welcome, C-O-M, or welcome, C-U-M?
Not C.
Okay, if you're being sexy, then sure, but this is a totally different conversation.
Welcome.
Right. Even that sounds like, well, now it's going to take me longer.
Right. That sounds like get it over with.
How you doing over there, birthday boy? It's coming up.
Yes, it is coming up in 2 days. I'm doing well. Be 45. Glad that every year you make a rotation around the sun is a good one for me. So
does age mean anything to you?
Not really. My dad told me when I was a kid, he's like, listen, the cover of like, I forget which magazine, but it said the new endangered species, black men.
Right.
And it was like, there's an epidemic of black men not making it to the age of 21. So he said, my job as a father is to just get you to that age. I want you to not fall into the pitfalls that are like befalling black men right now in the 80s. It was drugs, HIV/AIDS, and prison. And so he was like, 1 out of every 3 black men is in this by the time they're 21. And I just need you to not do that. And I'm going to do everything I can to help you with that. And so every birthday I've had after 21, it's just felt like, hey, I'm still fucking doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's funny. That's, my parents asked even less of me. They were like, hey, just marry someone Jewish. That's all we're asking. I'm like, I think you're lying, but I get it. I get that.
It also sounds harder, honestly. That sounds harder than just staying alive, out of jail and being alive.
We hear about your rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
my dad didn't have any of those rules.
I don't want to bring up problems, but now that, you're 45, it is the age. And also being black, there's also some stuff associated with that in terms of health stuff, right?
Yeah.
More prone to diabetes, perhaps.
Diabetes, prostate cancer, a bunch of shit, colon cancer.
How's your heart? How's your, in general, men die faster, right? So now is this a new age of your dad wants you to just be 49 and then he's like, all right, I'm good.
I mean, I go to the doctor because we got insurance.
Your butt?
Not yet. This is the year. So they actually pushed it to 50, but you can get it early if you want it. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want to get it early if it's because you're always going to think if you get it late, you're always going to be like, fuck, I had a chance to check this. And I said, I'll seem okay. So I think it's the year for all of that stuff. I'm going to the doctor for my annual stuff next month. So
picture, by the way, the doctor checks your asshole and then he goes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because obviously we always say thanks to the doctor. And if my doctor went, you're welcome.
But also I kind of get it,
Actually, when you bend over, you should go, you're welcome. You're welcome in. I'm just saying consent. That's what consent should be.
As long as he doesn't spell it with a U, I'm good. My doctor's a woman doctor, but I don't know if that's the same doctor that does the prostate thing. I feel like whenever doctors have a thing they don't want to do, there's always a weird specialist that does that.
I work alongside doctors person.
Yeah, it's always a weird oh, no, you'll be going to the butthole clinic for this one. We don't look in butts here. That's gross.
Penda and I soon enough are going to be 50 years old. Do you guys think about that number? Because I don't. I feel like I should, but I don't. It doesn't feel old. I see a stand-up show. I laugh at the wrong place. The whole audience looks at me. I don't think, man, I'm 50.
It only comes up for me when I if I play basketball or somewhere where there's younger people, people start slipping into the what's up, Unc? Stuff like that, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm older than you. And there's a little bit more different type of respect you have for me than when you thought I was just, one of the guys playing basketball. So like I'll notice it then, but very rarely in my life. I don't live like a very mature life.
I wondered about that in a recent yoga class I took. I said I was going up to say thank you to the two teachers. And I was like, is that a look like you did it? And I'm like, wait, everybody else did it. And I think my grays are showing.
Good for
Hold
you.
on.
Good for you. You're still doing yoga. Okay. I hope I'm like you when I can get to like, fuck you.
Even those peace and love hippies, though, don't say you're welcome. They say namaste. It's really only the assholes that say you're welcome.
Yeah, it's true. Think you're stumbling onto something.
When I'd have parties regularly, and one time I realized, like, oh, wait a minute, people kind of separated themselves from the younger people to the older people, and I think I keep finding myself talking to the wrong side. I think I'm supposed to be in the kitchen.
When I realize, because there's so many beat cops in New York sometimes, and I'm just like, who are these children in uniforms? I'm like, oh shit, I'm 47 and they retire at 45. So now all cops are younger than me. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yes.
To them, I say, you're welcome.
Sure.
They say it back, but not the good way ever.
Right. I see COVID is coming back. I feel like we knew this recently. Kemda had it. I'm seeing
there was
Jimmy
a wave.
Kim. I'm seeing a lot of, I went on Twitter and I saw like 10 celebrities canceling shows.
Thanks.
Jimmy Kimmel. Well, Las Vegas, I got COVID. Sadly, we need to cancel this weekend's Strike Force 3 show. I could never live with myself if I got my hometown friend sick. Thanks to all who purchase tickets, etc. Steve Martin. They're fans and enemies. Unfortunately, our sold-out show at the Wynn in Las Vegas this Friday and Saturday has to be postponed because of rampant COVID in our crew and one other essential guy. So his co-host, I assume.
That's very funny.
We are sorry for any inconvenience, but we're moving to mid-December, where your tickets will be honored with an added date moving tax of $9,000. But still, it's
so
real.
Funny.
Everybody's got to cancel shit, and I'm really excited. I mean, excited about this new vaccine. When do we get it? We're going to get free tests starting Monday from the government again. But give me this new flu COVID vaccine. I'm ready.
That's so funny. I picked up the phone today. Thank you, everybody. And you're welcome. I picked up the phone and they're like, guess what? New vaccine is ready. Your new shot is ready. And I'm like, okay. Now it's time. I didn't know people were going to call me. And
me and Karen went and got it. I want to say 2 days ago.
Okay. So maybe it's out. I just didn't get word. Okay.
Yeah. I called the pharmacy and was like, hey man, so y'all got that new COVID vaccine? And he was like, yeah, people been calling about it all day. I was like, cool, on my way. And then I showed up and he, like, when I'm filling out the information, he's like, wait a minute, I just talked to you on the phone. I was like, oh, I wasn't bullshitting, my man. Y'all got the vaccine. Let's just fucking do this. Let's get this over with.
Yeah, I'll check right after the show. Yeah.
That's so funny. You called and said, I'll be right over. And I do that too. If I'm calling a workspace, I'm like, you're going to recognize the sound of my voice, my specific request and the way I asked it. So I'm going to say, I'll see you in a bit so that we avoid are you being a fucking weirdo pretending like this is new? Okay, you get that, right?
Yes.
I didn't know if I was being weird.
I was waiting on him to recognize me because I was like, I'm filling out the thing. I said my name when because they make you do all like, what's your birthday? And I'm like, bro, I just have a question, but okay. So you go through the whole thing. And then when I was doing it and he going to give me the shot, he's like, yeah, man, because like he works it's a grocery store pharmacy. He's like, every day it's like all I'm hearing is customers coughing. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I got to have a vaccine. I need it.
Yikes. What do you mean grocery store pharmacy?
Y'all don't have room for that. Y'all just have one thing in y'all's grocery store, just groceries, and not even all of them, just like the ones that
well, you could go to the milk store, and I don't mean a cute country dairy store. We have the milk store. There's cottage cheese and shit, but crackers maybe.
I legit.
Oh, you want some bread with your milk? Oh, you need to go. Oh, you need to go to the cereal store to finish out your milk.
You're talking about grains and things.
When Keith talks about putting the divider in between people, I'm like, in between Who? There's no. What are you talking about?
This is an inconvenience that inconveniences this man never, because who would ever do that when the store is 3 feet wide?
Right. I legit go to 2 to 3 supermarkets when I shop just to kind of get the perfect groceries.
Yeah, when I was in New York and I would do like the grocery delivery, sometimes it would add up sometimes because it would be like, you need to get this shit from, and it was all because I was just overwhelmed. It wasn't like, once I got to moving around, I was fine. But at the time, it's like, oh, you want a bath mat? No, that's a whole different store, homie. Toilet
Wait,
tissue?
you can get a bath mat at your supermarket?
It wasn't.
How big is
it was
your
like
supermarket.
It was Bed Bath and Beyond for the bed mat. It was, if you wanted like a laundry thing, you can get that from somewhere else. You wanted some grocery, somewhere else. This thing's from Target. This thing. It was like, fuck, man, nothing's in the same place here. Y'all don't just have like a Walmart. You know what I mean? Like a Walmart down here, you can get your fucking car fixed. You can get a gun. You can get a photo shoot with your family, and that's just in like an hour.
And a pig with an apple in it already.
Holy shit. When we go camping, we go to places where things are bigger and stores are giant. And, all of a sudden there's like an outlet mall. We go into one of the, not REI, but one of those like camping style thingies. This thing had a waterfall in the store.
All we have to do is ask Newsy to take off his hat that labels him gay. What's the big deal? That's a fair exchange. Rainbows got perverted. We don't need to mention them today.
I'd like to mention, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, Amazon, because all the things that you just mentioned, I'm like, you go to stores?
Oh yeah, right. I'm Amazon. Is it
because you have a car?
Yeah.
I don't go to stores. I'm just like toilet paper, Amazon. This thing for my glasses, Amazon. My glasses, Amazon. The cup, Amazon. And I don't know if you saw over here, there's like an Amazon truck on your block all fucking day.
In the morning, the Amazon workers are just walking with packages all down the street where I stayed. But at the same time, it's not even
Christmas.
I would find myself though ordering something on Amazon, but it was something downstairs at the bodega. And I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? I'm so brainwashed. Cancel that. I can go get a lighter from downstairs. I'm pretty sure I'll be okay.
But then you have to do the thank you, you're welcome exchange. And I'm like, just mail it to me.
I bet Amazon emails us, you're welcome. We just don't pay attention.
Right.
You know how we talk about when people deliver here, they ring your bell, but then they leave. By the time you get the door, they're gone.
Right.
It's because they don't want to do the thank you, you're welcome thing.
Yeah.
Right. Now I get it. Is it weird it's still called COVID-19 and we're coming up to COVID-24?
True. We need to update that shit. The remix something.
COVID-19 hospitalizations have been on the rise since July, with weekly admissions now more than triple what they were 2 months ago. More than 20,000 people in the U.S. were admitted to the hospital with COVID-19 during the week, ending September 9th, 8% higher than the week before.
That's huge, 8%.
That's huge.
And you know why no one gives a fuck? It's because it's so much lower than when it was at its worst. It's kind of like mass shootings, right? Like when you have, like, you read the news now, you hear about a mass shooting and they're like 3 people were shot and you're like, oh, that's not that bad.
Does that still count as mass?
Right. Like we're like, we count 3. That dude was whack. He didn't even do shit. And that we've gotten that used to the COVID thing where it's like hospitalizations are going up to 20,000, like just 20,000. That ain't shit. I'm going out to the movies tonight.
Right. So I'm wondering, are you guys, so you go to the movies and stuff? I'm not saying I, stay inside still, but are you hesitant to go into an indoor activity?
When I went to Liz Mealy's show, and I've been going out lately, but I finally did. When I was on the subway, I'm like, is today the fuck? It just hit me like, is today the fucking day? And I'm one of these people that need any excuse to not go out, but I didn't think about it. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, for this. Come on, I sat on an aisle for what that's worth. But yeah, I see all my friends are getting COVID. Never mind celebrities. Something's going on. I'm definitely getting the booster today.
Yeah, so one, getting the booster gave me a little bit more peace of mind. But at this point, man, like if I'm doing something, I'm doing it. I already knew. This is why you stay updated on your shit. And then you just kind of hope for the best. But like there are events coming up now. Like I think Roy Wood Jr. is coming to town on Sunday. and he like gave us tickets to come see him and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, shit, should I just no show? Boy, that seems weird. It'd probably be fine. I saw a show in there last time. I performed in this theater a week ago. It feels weird now if I don't go to his shit, you know?
Right.
Like, so,
Yeah.
you know, basketball games are coming back. I'm sure I'm going to that. So I think I'm just out here, man. I'm just hoping I don't get it, but I'm out here.
If I got the booster, I'm good. I just haven't had the booster since
Yeah.
I got the first one, like we all did, April of 2021. I see, then May of 2021, and then then the third shot or the second booster was the first of 2022. So it's been a
Okay.
bit. So
Yeah.
when I get it, I'll feel better.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm be
here's-
licking telephone poles.
Yeah.
See, I'm still scared of the variants and stuff, and
Right.
but still, this I think it lowers the severity of it regardless. And even if it doesn't
Yeah.
fucking get your, I don't know. Why are you taking so many chances? Ryan V, I hope you're being sarcastic. If you guys have already survived it, why are you still so afraid of it? I
Oh my
don't-
God. It is
please.
fucking torture. And by the way, I had it and I had the booster, I think.
Yeah.
I believe I did. And it's a pounding in the back of your fucking head that's punching out. If I didn't have it, I've heard other people talk about it. It's fucking torture. Never mind, you've heard, you go to the hospital, you heard you're on a ventilation system. All these people did not have the booster, fact. So
Right.
of course all this shit can happen again. That's not what kind of science magazine are you reading?
Also, like, it's not the same every time. Like, I've had the flu before. Some flus was like light work, 2-3 days, I'm back out on the streets. And I've had a flu before where I was like, am I gonna fucking die? Is this how people died on the Oregon Trail? I don't like this
Right.
shit.
Yes. The first time I got COVID last year in August, I was like, okay, booster's working. I'm not at 100%, but I'm not at 0. I got, I was doing shows and then I was resting in between. I wasn't doing like the extra stuff, the administrative, all that. I could put it aside. This time I was like, I think I have to cancel shows. I'll let you know in a day. Hold on. And I
20,000
had that
people in the
thought.
hospital. Who the fuck wants to go to the hospital? Even when you have insurance, you don't go to the hospital. People go, what's going to happen with the system if we give free health care? People with insurance don't want to go. 20,000 people had to go this week.
We went out to eat at a sushi place that we haven't gone to since the pandemic, right? And it's just, and we used to go there all the time. Like, they know us. When we came in, they were like, Karen and Rod, like it was a big deal. It was
Well,
like,
you're the black guy who tips.
yeah, well, yeah, it was like, we know y'all. This is why you should tip everybody. It's not all just for altruism. But yeah, so they like come over, and the waiter and the host both had stories of like how they got sick during the pandemic. What the one waiter said his was actually pneumonia. He was in the hospital for 13 days. He went for 8, got out, came back, had to go back for 5.
And then can I just pause for a second? I had open heart surgery. I was in the hospital for 6-7 days. This guy had a flu. Okay. If we're going to call it a flu, this guy had a flu and went 2 weeks. Okay. In 1 week, they opened me up, took my heart out, took a tumor out, took a little piece of my lung, like sewed me back up. I relaxed for a bit and left. COVID, you stayed there longer than me.
Yeah.
Even when Hunter had COVID recently, we couldn't record for a week. Picture she had a regular job and had to talk to her boss or deal with a week without pay.
Right. So yeah, I think what everyone is and what that listener probably is really afraid of is my guess is this idea of like, oh fuck, we're gonna go all the way back to when we were just all in the house and no one was seeing anybody, and I was just fucking, and that's your panic and your fear kicking in. But I think we have some tools out here that will enable you to have like a life and where you're not necessarily running around scared, but you're not necessarily like in the house. I don't think anyone on this podcast is advocating anything more than that.
Right. Agree.
I agree. And Nadine is saying, quote, oh my God, you've been hit by a car before? Why bother looking both ways?
Right. I don't know what kind of COVID this Ryan had, but good for you. Because it is the fucking worst still.
Yeah.
Still. In fact, if it's going to take you time to get the booster, we're going to do an event, but we're going to do it virtual. So you can be safe. We're going to do it. When are we going to do it? This Monday, the 25th.
Don't tell him.
Okay, right. The game show. If I don't show up, I forfeit. No, I'll
Keep
be
it
there.
on the low. Keep it on the low, everybody.
I'll be there. Monday night, the game show. Hemda has all new games. Hemda, give us an example.
Well, we're still bringing silent trailers because that's a hit. And we're
Okay.
also going to do reverse taboo and what's the next 5 words. Now I don't know what the name of what the next 5 lyrics is. So I want to say like 5 alive, or I want to make it cool. But so far I'm really
Like
just
you
dorking it up.
read lyrics and we have to say the next 5 words in the lyrics. Like the hint
Yes.
is it's only 5 words.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So today I want to play reverse taboo with you guys because honestly, taboo game is a little easier to come up with for Monday, and I don't want to take away from the songs I already put together for Monday. It's a little bit harder, but I did throw some up on Reddit. So if you want to play what the next 5 lyrics is, I threw away some right there on Reddit. Okay, so for now, we're going to play reverse taboo. So for those who know taboo, there are words that you can't say to try to make your partner guess the right word. I'm going to only say the words you can't say. And whenever you guys know the answer, let me know. Just call it out.
Okay, so you're going to give the 5 words if we get to that, and we're going to tell you the main word. Okay.
Yes. Play along in the chat if you're listening live. Here we go. Scared.
Horror movie.
White.
Well, I'm not saying it. What'd you say, Rod?
KKK.
Right.
Donald Trump. I could do a lot of these actually.
Fly. Haunted.
Haunted house. Halloween.
Dead.
Ghost.
Ghost is correct.
Oh,
All right. Keith is on the
wow.
board. We're going to go straight to the next one. New card.
You were close with KKK, by the way.
Yeah, I mean sheets, boo, they're scaring people. I don't know. Feel like I got it right, but okay.
It was weird that the first one was scared. The second one was white. I was like, America.
Yeah.
Inner city
United
basketball.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to say nothing.
People getting off at the wrong stop. I don't
Do we need specific states? This is getting weird.
Yes.
All right. The next one is leprechaun.
4th of July.
What?
4th of July. Irish.
In the hood, too.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I see. Okay. Colors.
Rainbow.
Green.
Gold.
What'd you say?
Pot of
Rod?
gold.
Pot of gold. Pot of gold
Yes.
specifically.
Okay. Let's go, pot.
Colors.
I do think we need to break the tie now. So here we go.
All right.
One more.
Let's go.
One more. Now remember, this game is happening Monday on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you're subscribed. And it's going to be free, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a few comedians on with us. It's going to be great. Okay, here we go. 7
Lucky numbers.
days.
Week.
Hanukkah.
Week is correct. Keith
Fucking
Mallory.
shit.
That is this Monday, the game show, the 25th. I'll be there for sure. Make sure you stop by, vaxxed or not. Everybody's welcome.
I'm sorry. Can we not gloss over that? Rod
Hanukkah
said
is 8
Hanukkah?
days. And it's 8 nights.
It's,
Yeah. Shout out to
But
Adam Sandler.
it's just funny that you're like, fuck it. I'm throwing it out there.
You're
Hanukkah.
just throwing stuff. Like people understand how hard this is. Okay. She's just saying words. And we're doing word association. And I also there's pressure to be first because Keith's going.
Right.
So, you say 7 days. I was like, is that Hanukkah? Let's just say it.
You know what?
Fuck it.
I'm gonna call that being awake to the culture. Like
Yeah.
Keith goes 7 days a week.
Exactly. He wasn't
And you're
even
like-
thinking about Jewish people because as an ally and a supporter. That's all.
Right. Obviously, we know that. And
I'm
thank
sorry, I
you.
can't hear you with the trumpets in the winter circle. It's so loud over here.
Well,
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
speaking of
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Judaism-
hear you. What's that? To be the best, you got to beat the best, and I'm the best.
Oh my God, this is him all
You're
the
welcome.
time. Yeah.
See, we can still have fun during COVID. I play these virtual games. I whack off. Everything can be done in your own house.
You don't need people.
Hey, I don't need people.
People
Keith was ahead of
overrated.
his time. He has an album called Stay Inside. It was recorded like 10 years ago. So
Right.
I started listening to it during the pandemic, and I said, you know what? This guy's on to something.
bars. That's an album. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I heard my man Keith Malley, he's spitting. Y'all need to listen.
But speaking of Jews, this Sunday night, Jews will be fasting. Monday night sundown, they will be done fasting, and that's when you log into the game show. So you could be supportive of your fellow believer in ghosts, speaking of ghosts, and still make the show. So don't forget, tell people to have an easy fast, not
What is this fast called? Is this Yom Kippur or something different?
Yom Kippur, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And it's the day where you find out if you're just going to hell now because God's like, all right, or you're good to go. So yeah, you're actually written in the good book or the bad book, and who finds out is the rabbi. And the rabbi goes in to a special room and goes, how'd they do? And God goes, you got another year. Or the guy just dies, I think. I don't know what happens when we don't do good. We haven't done not good. We're so good.
Yeah.
we're just like so good.
I was reading something online. Now it's just an online meme, so I'm pretty sure I don't know where it comes from. It's probably not fact-based, but it was like this September the 22nd, the rapture is coming. It is the day that God calls up. I was like, oh, my birthday's gonna be lit. It is gonna be lit. All the heathens gonna still be here. Oh my God. The orgy we're gonna have.
I'm looking at the album right now, Stay Inside. I like this one a lot. Luckily, I like them all a lot, or I wouldn't have put them out, I suppose.
I'm into this guy. He's good.
Mike Kaplan opened. Then I see Introduction 11, meaning 2011.
Wow.
My goodness.
Over a
I knew you
decade.
should stay inside. Yeah. My New Girlfriend, in parentheses, The Pill slash Marriage. Charlie Sheen is a track. Quitting is a track. World Peace, Stay Inside, God's Plan. I know that. Look around. Like, what could this fucking plan be that God's going to explain it all in heaven? Boot Camp, America USA #1 gold medal and her laws. The Court of TV Law, The Bathroom Attendant, and the encore was Dream. I'm going to put Dream at the end of this because I've been having some weird fucking dreams lately. Last night, I had a dream where I had like 3 fake guns. They were CO2 guns, and I actually have one, and so maybe now I have 3. And I was arrested, or I was detained somehow for these guns, and I'm like, they're not real guns. I'm like, you're in big fucking trouble. And I go, lawyer, I want a lawyer. Then this lawyer comes, and the lawyer's
before the lawyer comes, in order to know that you're detained, were you like, are you detaining me? Am I free to go?
Right. I just knew there was trouble.
Okay.
I don't even think there was a cell or anything. And the lawyer's talking to me, but he's not really on my side. And he talked so long that I was able to lucid dream. And I went, wait a second, this isn't real. And then all of a sudden the guns were real, and I shot everybody knowing it was fake.
Damn. You did just say you wanted to do a mass shooting. So
there's something going on.
You're manifesting. You thought about manifesting anything like good? You know what? And the homeless people got a place to stay. Let's see what happens.
I'm going, I know this isn't real. And I give everybody flowers. No, it's a dream. You got to go nuts. You got to fucking shoot. I'm reading here about a pastor, Nick Vujicic, Vujicic. He's taken to interviews to ask for, he's a pastor. He's telling people to stop watching porn.
What?
We need to address the sexual sin of jerking off to porn. He happens to have no arms.
Oh, come on. This isn't fair. I'm not mature enough to be here for this. You try to get me canceled? What kind of setup was this? No comment.
He's born without arms or legs, and he says everybody has a porn addiction and they need to stop jacking off.
Wait.
Well, of course he thinks this is like that guy with the skis for legs beating everybody in the Olympics, dude. You can't.
Right.
What kind of shit is this? You don't even know the struggle.
Let's talk about your porn addiction. He said, when was the last time you actually saw pornography? It's scientifically proven that when you're pornographically addicted, it rewires your brain. I'm starting a fund so that you give me money. and I can help spread the word about not looking at porn. I guess that costs
Oh.
money to spread the word.
This is a money thing. That's
It's
the
a money
weirdest
thing
part
also,
because
right.
you know what? The porn thing, I don't know.
You got to be able to do it. You got to be able to do it to say don't do it.
I guarantee you where this money's going. He's buying himself some robo arms.
Right. And he's like, I did my research, guys. Guess what?
Yeah. Fuck out of here, buddy. Pay for your own jack off arms. I'm not doing it.
Then I got to think like maybe I'm jerking you off because I put money in the till.
You got to use my Christian guilt that was sown in me since a child. You're going to use that against me to get some robo arms so you can jack off and watch porn. A nice try.
Now, I understand the porn thing, but any religion that tells you not to jerk off, they're asking you to walk around with a loaded weapon. Stop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You can't. I don't, male, female, intersex, it does not matter. If there's some sensitivity there, feel it out, see what happens.
Imagine you get to heaven and that's the thing God wants to talk about.
Oh, like, that's not
cool.
Heaven.
Yeah, it was cool, like all that shit you did for the orphans, but we got into your ex-hamster account and I'm looking kind of bad for you, buddy. You're gonna have to send you to hell. Die. I'm a loving God, by the way. Gonna just send you to hell to die and torture forever because you couldn't not jack off.
And what kind of twist in the facts is this? Christian churches should worry about the sexual abuse of children. I mean, it's right there in your own literal house, but it's Keith Malley's fault for jacking it to you porn. Yeah. It's me. Yeah. I did it. Okay.
I love when these topics come up and like, I don't really know much about porn, but I'm like, oh, well, now I know what you want and now I know what you want. Like you all mention the websites you go to.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help. Honestly, I'm trying to spread the word. You know, I mean, I could have gone deeper than that. I'm just keeping it light. Okay. Casual conversation.
Okay.
I say about how there's all this criminal stuff. Sometimes I think it just really does deserve the death penalty. You guys tell me what you think about this one. Mm-hmm. A 31-year-old woman admitted to having sex with a 13-year-old boy and had his child will serve only 90 days in jail. Oh, I guess you can't do the death penalty because she's pregnant, but 90 days?
What's the 90-day? Did they say why it's only 90 days or is that's probably not in there?
They just, she's like, I'll make a plea deal. I guess she admitted early. The department started investigating after receiving a tip.
You know who admitted it early? The DNA in that baby. What?
Right.
What do you think you did?
They said, hey, we received a tip, probably from the kid's mom, because kids can't shut up. Was arrested after confirming she had a relationship with the teen. They're like, did you do it? I did it. All right. Well, at least you're honest and we don't got to search around.
Want to see her lawyer, her defense lawyer being like, you're going to send the mother of the child
of your child, 13-year-old.
You're going to send the mother of your child to prison for that doesn't even make sense. Who's going to raise the child? 90 days, Your Honor. It's the only thing that makes sense here.
The kicker is after 90 days, she's going to file for child support.
I want half your lunch money.
You know what? I never really thought of that. There's no way you ask a child for support, right? Like
there's no way you fuck a child and have their baby, right?
I know.
She's breaking all kinds of rules.
Like, how do you? Wow.
You're probably not. Your morality probably doesn't prevent you from asking for child support. That's my guess.
When she's on a dating website, does she talk shit about her baby daddy? And
and people go with it. Like you're right. Men ain't shit.
Right. He's so immature. I wish he would just fucking grow up.
I call his house. His mom keeps picking up.
You know what my baby daddy does all day? He plays video games and he lives with his parents.
Ooh. He's a mama's boy. It's been a year already. He's 14.
Are you guys saying that she only got 90 days so that she has to come out and take care of this kid and not leave it to the 13-year-old?
I wonder. I know that's what her defense had to say in the courtroom. Right. There's no way they didn't bring that up.
That's interesting. Yeah.
They do that, right? Like if a mom kills her kids, they always are like, you gonna take away this mom from the other kids she didn't get to kill yet? And you're like, wait, what? The fuck's up with the logic here?
Right. She was the kid's teacher. Surprise, surprise. 10 years to life as a sex offender. So that means 10 years with supervised probation, which is good because she might want to be a teacher at 11 years from now. They don't ruin somebody's dream.
I mean, I feel bad for her because like her baby daddy didn't even graduate high school. you know,
Right.
so she's dealing with a lot of issues trying to raise this kid on her own.
So wait, so she's getting 10 years?
No, 10 years as a sex offender. Who gives a shit? Who the fuck looks that up? Better
Oh.
Business Bureau.
Oh, that disappears after 10 years? I thought it followed you for life.
I think it's 10
It's
years to life or something like that.
10 years to
right?
life, but that's like
Yeah.
the 70s show guy got 30 years to life. That means 30 years
Right.
at
Okay.
most.
Yeah. I don't know how
10
the
years
sex
to
offender
life unless she
registry works.
fucks more kids and has their babies in jail, which only has women. So if there's some kind of
But they do
transgender
have
trick in
children.
there, right?
They do have children visiting day. So
Right.
don't count it out,
Oh.
Keith.
Well, they keep an eye on her for 10 years.
Okay. Well, that's
But then 11, you know, you got to work.
yeah.
And all you have is teaching degrees.
yeah.
Oh, well. And in 10 years, you learn where you went wrong. 90 days, you really learn, but then you have a couple years to think about it, to do the work.
Has
And
it ever been one person? Because she has so much access to kids. If she's their teacher, could it be just one? This is her first one.
And you know what she says to you to that? Really?
Right.
Really? Now I'm fucking all the kids.
I don't know.
Oh, I
Was
just can't
something
quit fucking kids now and having their babies. How many babies do you think I can have in me at a time?
what was something so special about little Johnny? Like it's a 13-year-old. They all look the same.
He's very mature for a 13-year-old. You just
Well,
be
he's not-
surprised.
You
He's
don't
got
talk
3
down to
underarm
kids.
hairs.
You talk to kids. You don't talk down to kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was what do we always say? We learn from them. So
Right.
it's really like he was teaching me. He taught me TikTok dances.
Yeah.
No,
How about a little?
floss.
She goes to church. She's against porn. I feel like the mom says, I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. I agree.
Yeah.
They would be seeking more. I feel like because he's not a woman, they are not. They are not.
Mhm.
They are
Seeking
having
more.
compassion for her. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that's the one time like patriarchy works out for the people that are normally under it. It's like,
Right.
I did a crime a man does, and like, we don't think so, bitch. You get 75% of the pay and 75% of the sentence.
Right.
That's
She'll
right,
start
that's
her-
true.
She'll start her time in jail next week after being granted a 7-day stay to make sure her children were taken care of.
Oh, she got kids too.
She's not a flight risk.
How old are her kids?
Right.
I say
I don't
she's not a flight risk. If you knew you were only going to jail for 90 days for this
Right.
crime,
I'd
I
go
couldn't wait
early.
to show up. I'd be like, Your Honor, we don't need to wait till Monday. I can go right now. Let's get this
Right.
over with.
Holy hell.
Mm.
Really? So I'm just fucking everybody? No, it's me and him.
You know-
You're following your teacher on Facebook
Right.
10 years from now.
You don't understand. When we went to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie together, he had some really deep insights for a 13-year-old. So
That is so, it's so fucked up. So now, you grow up, you start realizing what life is. And, yes, she took advantage. No, you didn't really want a baby. You probably thought you were a piston inside her instead. And, but you do have a life out there and you know it.
Yep.
Right.
What are
And then you
gonna
got to
do?
wonder, like, they're like, oh, why wasn't my dad good enough to look me up?
Yeah, people have like older siblings that are 13 years apart. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
some child's out there that one day will be of an age where they need a father. What the fuck you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like how old could her children be? Because she's 31.
True.
So I mean,
Right.
she could have a teenager, but she'd have to start young. But I guess she knows about starting young.
She could help
God.
change diapers if they get together. Wouldn't that be
When
something to get together?
when he's her age, he has a fully grown adult
Yes.
as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the math on that.
They're close enough in age to date,
crazy.
him and the kid.
Crazy.
They're older. He's closer to his kid's age
Yeah.
than to
Yes.
this
her age.
woman's age.
Yep.
All this math. I guess she's not a math teacher. What is happening?
Right.
Is it
He's
nothing?
a
is
sex
adding up.
education teacher.
Oh,
It's not math. It's not science. It's hopefully not sex ed. What the fuck?
It's just Jim.
Yeah, dude, I encourage everybody, just stay home and whack it.
Yeah.
That's the
Honestly,
point of today's show.
Wouldn't our lives be better if more people stayed home and whacked it? If
Yes.
you really think about the problems in the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
the church should be putting out porn.
Yes. Honestly.
Yeah.
You know what? I might like the church's porn because porn is so fucking aggressive. Maybe they'll slow it
Mhm.
down
Yeah.
and pretend they're not disgusting. You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to pray first. That's like a part of it because they got to have the propaganda in there.
Oh, that's gonna be so popular.
That's what would turn me off is the propaganda. I'm like, we're getting on to pray. Fast forward.
But that's what will turn a lot of people on. Like, yeah. Pray for me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know?
You're gonna need to pray for what we about to do, girl.
I'm praying too. Get on your knees and pray. Yeah.
You're already on your knees kissing
You're in
a
the
ring.
pew.
You're kissing a ring. Here's the body of me.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You got
Here's
to
what
pray
you
extra
do.
hard to
Yeah.
get forgiven for what
Go,
we about to do.
Click the buttons on the YouTube. See us on the game show. Beat off, touch yourself, stay safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Get the booster.
Jack off to this. You're on YouTube. Jack off to us. We don't care.
I don't mind.
Just
I
let
don't
me
mind.
help you guys out. Okay.
She left. That's everything. Rod, he has the podcast, The Black Guy Who Tips. You want to download it. You want to do yourself that favor. Anything else they should know?
Yeah, check out Drapetomaniacs. It's a podcast about Black history and comedy mixed together. You learn, you laugh. It's funny. I wrote the last episode about Afeni Shakur and the time that she defended herself in court against the government by herself when the Black Panthers were on trial, and she won. And it was really fun and really cool to do. So check that out. And also, I'd like to take this time to unsubscribe from the Keith broke leg text. So if you're gonna
yes
NFL players break their legs, and I specifically said in the text before it, I don't want to see it, then don't send it. Maybe let's just err on the side of that.
We did during the wrap-up shows, we go over the polls of the week. While Henda's talking, I'm gonna look up what the knee poll was, how many people did want to see it.
Can you make that a voice note? Hey, this guy broke his leg.
It's going to the right as opposed to the way knees go.
Yeah, Keith will send he's like, oh, no one could miss this, right? So he sends a thing and says, that's not the way a knee goes. And I'm like, too late. I already see it. He gave me a hint. I saw it. Oh, I couldn't hit stop fast
Meanwhile,
enough.
if you change a fucking question mark to a double exclamation points, this motherfucker gonna do a whole show about you.
I don't like when someone says you're welcome. But look at this sickness.
By the way,
also in your VIP package of the show we're talking about last week on Keith and the Girl, it's so good. The Morrows do such a great job. Rod comes up with sponsors instead of stamps.com. He's sponsored by the post office. So, maybe you want that aggression and attitude. We have HelloFresh. What did Rod get?
Goodbye Spoiled.
Guess what his last show was sponsored by before this leg incident?
Football.
Interesting.
Big football making us feel things, making us send broke legs to our friends so they can feel the fear that we feel.
Did you want to see Nick Chubb's sideways leg video? 50-50.
What?
I say yes. If it happened, I want to see it.
No, I don't want to see it.
It's weird. It's weird that they go, I don't like what the announcers go, we just saw it. We're not going to show it to you because it's so nasty. It's like, are you just bragging you got to see it? You could have ignored the whole fucking thing. No one was asking. He got hurt. He's going in the tent. What are you teasing me?
This is the mind of a man that even when Hemda broke her leg, his first thought was like, well, we got to put this on the site, right?
Of course. Who
said it? Speaking of.
I think it was Kyle that said, like, does she want you taking video? I'm like, was I asking? What?
So I fell like maybe a block from the studio. So he was able to be there waiting for the ambulance as the ambulance pulled up. So because of that, we have pictures of me on the ground, like just like, holy shit. Because I kept thinking I'm just like, where's the adrenaline? Why does this hurt? Holy shit. And he's like, I don't think the adrenaline's coming. I'm like, okay, fine, just take pictures. And then he has the picture of the doctors pulling my leg out of where it's not supposed to be into I can't believe they let him into that space. He had, and then one more thing. while I was still like, hobbling around in the studio, when guests came in, they're like, what happened? He'd be like, here. And he would, in that timing, what happened here? He pulled up my x-ray because it was so gnarly. And I'm using the word gnarly. I never use the word gnarly, but it is exactly gnarly. It was so gnarly. I'm like, oh, I have that. He's like, right here. This is the x-ray because he loves that shit.
To this day, I've never seen that picture or video.
Really?
Yeah. But I
Well,
saw
we have
Nick Chubb's leg.
KeithAndTheGirl.com. KeithAndTheGirl.com will have Kenda's leg.
Don't send it to me though. Y'all go find that shit.
Yeah, the x-ray was weird because I have to tell people, you have a knee dislocation and that's just a regular thing. I even have to tell doctors at a knee dislocation, they're like, all right. I'm like, no. It relocated itself to a different place. And they're like, oh,
right.
And whenever
my bones are
parallel.
My bones are parallel now.
Yes. Whenever I go to the doctor, I'm like, I will not be able to explain it. I always have the x-ray ready. And thanks to KeithAndTheGirl.com, I just do a Google search.
That's like the last time I did stand-up, kind of. It was the opener was like, what number stand-up is this? And I go, hold on. And I go to Wikipedia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, when it happens to anyone else, they can go to Nick Chubb's picture and be like, this is what happened to my knee. So, you got a bunch of choices, everybody.
Give me what you're giving him. Give me what you just gave him immediately that he's not screaming.
I swear to God, if he's back on that field, I am looking up his doctor. Do you know? Okay, you got. I've brought up this guy's name, David.
His
Goggins.
doctor is the Sacklers, by the way. But go on.
David Goggins was a military person, a Marine. He is beyond human. Beyond human, what he has done with his body. Unfucking believable. If you're looking for an inspirational story, he's got 2 books. They're both fucking kick ass. Anyway. Something happened to his knee because something happened to all parts of his bodies, down to his toenails. I mean, it's disgusting what he puts his body through. And they told him he will not be able to run again, maybe walk normally, like heavy shit. In 2020, during the pandemic, he thanks his doctor. He's like, even through a pandemic, you took care of my knee. He's still running 100 miles at a time. I looked that guy up because he's in New York.
Wow.
Because I'm just like, this guy jumps out of airplanes, like volunteers to, take care of fires and shit like that. Like, literally runs 100 miles at a time faster than other people and then keeps going on something else. It's like, it's bananas. He fucked up his knee. You have to fix his knee. So I got to go to that doctor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This just in about David Goggins. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
As long as he doesn't do a gender reveal, he'll be safe. And Nick Chubb actually messed his knee up like that before.
Saw looking at pictures. I didn't realize it. Was it in college?
Yeah. This is his second time doing that to the same leg.
His bottom of his leg was reversed. Completely reversed. So you're done. You're done. Go home. Write poetry. This isn't for you.
What the fuck? Because when they look at my knee, they're like, oh yeah, you just can't run, jump, dance, twist. I'm like,
right.
They're like, but you're not an athlete. I'm like, but I really like all the things you just mentioned. Yeah. I can't do so many things. You just started to mention it. And they're like, what are you using your knee for? I'm like, yeah, I apologize. I'm not using my knee to make money. So please ignore me.
You should have said you're a running back.
Right. The doctor's like, you want us to try? Come on, man. Like, you don't even really do shit with that knee.
Right.
And they really said to me, you need a new knee. Let us know when you're ready. I'm like, what?
Right. I'll tell you what, if I draft you on my fantasy team, I got you. I'll get your knee back right.
Right.
Thank you. Can we somehow add me to the fantasy football and then somehow it'll get to my doctor and he's like, shit, we really do need her.
Right.
See all these headshots of famous sports players I have on my wall? That's not you. So what we're going to do is give you 2 aspirin.
Oh, yeah. Pizza's reminding me no pickleball for Chemda. Do you know how I started knowing about pickleball? Because that's what doctors came. Well, you can't play pickleball. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, it's funny now. Yeah.
Fuck you. By the way, every pickleball is great. Central Park has a new pickleball field. There's new pickleball stuff coming up everywhere. You pass by a park that normally has tennis or table tennis. Now there's a pickleball area. Where did this come from? How does the simulation just add it like it was already here? And everyone's like, oh, you don't know what pickleball is? We already had this field for 10 years. And I'm like, no, I don't think you're right.
Yeah, LeBron James is adding like a pickleball team to his collection of things that he
Stop
owns.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Like, we
doctors
talked
don't
about
even
it-
want to come to open a jar of pickles. They really don't give a fuck.
You can't even get yourself in a pickle.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Figure things out quickly.
Yeah,
Let's just put it that
don't
way.
add don't add extra pickles on your sandwiches. Like, it's over for you.
So here's what you do. The podcast, once again, The Black Guy Who Tips. On YouTube, click the bell, be reminded about the game show. That's on Monday. I will win. And almost all my stand-up, I believe all of it now, is on, except for the latest, is on, Apple Music, all that shit. And I'll play from Stay Inside. This track is called Dream. And we'll see you on Monday.
Holy shit. What a fun last episode of the week.
Yeah.
Fuck Matt Backus. Just kidding. I'm joking. We love you, Matt. Matt got a.
But it worked out,
last-minute
Matt.
break.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Nothing
And it
worse
makes
day,
last week.
Matthew.
It makes last week a little bit shorter because
Right.
I was here for all of it. I remember.
Last week is normally at least 2 hours, and Q&A is normally at least 3 hours. So VIPers get all of their commute taken care of. Now, here's what I like to do: randomly pick one person and read their chat. I've had it twice, and I don't feel like getting the new booster. All
COVID.
right, that's easy.
All right, good
You
luck,
had
buddy.
it twice. Is this Ryan V? You had it twice. Then you're.
Wait,
then you're,
hold on.
Did he happen to have that's important to know. Did you have the vaccine then, or are you a super goddamn hero? Because that is not normal and good for you then.
Well, no, I've had it twice too. He says I don't feel like getting the new booster, so I feel like he had the booster and he doesn't. What do you mean you don't feel like it?
I
It
guess
does
you
need
don't
another
know.
sentence. Did you have COVID during that time?
Well, what's it
During the
matter?
booster
I
time.
was boosted.
He loves it.
Yeah, he
mean,
liked
we-
being. He liked COVID.
He gets time off work.
Ha.
He gets paid vacation. Sure, that's different.
You know, I got time off work. Also, we didn't record. The problem is when I come back to work, it's all there. We need another
Right.
Penda.
It waits for it.
Ethan, the girl and the girl.
Mimi Cherry saying pickleball is the new roller skating. She's also saying Rod is the best. We agree. Ryan is
Aw.
saying yep. I assume to everything we just said. And Mimi Cherry says boom.
We got to the bottom of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No need to explain.
That's good. I'm gonna get it though right now. But okay. Jesus Christ.
Man, you guys, see you on Monday for last week for the game show, and I do believe we will all be boosted by then. And you know what? The people who are boosted and on the show, we're kicking them off. We don't even want to take virtual risks.
The people who aren't right. We don't be scared. I mean, when that dude tackled Chubb,
Right.
I don't remember. Did he stand up and be like, "Yeah, I fucking oh boy."
Well, he's had to come out and say he's not a dirty player,
Right.
which is so interesting in football.
That's not
'cause
fair.
football, we're like, kill that motherfucker. And then the second you do, we're like,
course.
what's wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah. The word is tackle, but did you have to do it like that? What?
Tackle
told-
nicely.
Yeah. I'm technically allowed to pull him by his own hair to tackle him, but tackle nice. Okay. Yeah,
It's
these are
like
great
nobody
rules.
knows the rules though. What are the rules with low hits? Like, was that legal?
It was legal. He
Yeah.
didn't get flagged.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Like, do
two-hand touch is coming.
Do you apologize? Or do you check up him in the hospital? Because the wife doesn't want to pick up the phone. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you do, man.
Right.
That's
What's
why I don't tackle
protocol?
people.
You're right. That's why I stopped.
Yeah. I only tackle people I hate.
Too much drama.
Then I call the hospital like, how you like them apples, bitch? Legs ain't supposed to bend that way, are they?
Adventure like that way, go to the hospital, get COVID, be in the right place.
Take a picture of his legs, send it to people, but the brag.
Oh, this is lovely.